the Spanish conquistadors arrived in Cholula in 1519, they massacred its inhabitants, obliterating not only their culture, but also almost all traces of the more ancient cultures that had preceded them.
A pyramid hidden inside another pyramid, which is hidden inside another one. The Great Pyramid of Cholula is the ultimate ancient Russian doll, built over 1,000 years by cultures that kept burying the past.
But the invaders couldn't erase everything.
But what if the final layer wasn't a pyramid but a cover-up? The Spanish built a church on top, hiding the entire mountain. Now, modern technology is peeling back all the layers at once. What they're finding isn't just history, it's a warning. A 2,000-year-old message about a global catastrophe that is happening right now. Cortez's greatest cover-up. This is the Great Pyramid of Cholula, also known as Tlachihualtepetl, or man-made mountain. And for centuries is that this structure is a monster of ancient engineering. Its base covers over 45 acres, making it nearly 4 times larger than the Great Pyramid of Giza. By volume, it's the undisputed champion of the world, clocking in at an estimated 157 million cubic feet. That's almost double the volume of its Egyptian cousin. For hundreds of years, it just sat there, perfectly disguised as a natural part of the landscape. When the Spanish conquistador Hernán Cortés arrived in 1519, he saw only a large, overgrown hill. In a brutal display of power, his forces were responsible for the demise of thousands of local Aztecs in the city below. To cement his victory, he ordered a church to be built right on top of that hill, a symbol of Christianity's triumph over the local beliefs. And just like that, the largest monument ever built by human hands was hidden from history. The secret slept for over 300 years. Then, in 1910, the city began work on a new project, a mental asylum at the base of the hill. As workers dug the foundations, their shovels hit something that shouldn't have been there. Not rock, but smooth, hard adobe brick. Then they found another, and another. They had struck the side of a massive stepped platform. The hill, it turned out, was a phantom. In 1931, architect Ignacio Marquina began the first serious excavation. But you see, he couldn't just dig it up. The historic church was on top, and the pyramid itself was made of sun-dried adobe bricks, basically hardened mud. Digging from the top down would destroy everything. So, he did the only thing he could. He tunneled inside. For the next 25 years, Marquina and his team carved a labyrinthine network of tunnels straight through the heart of the pyramid. They dug over 5 miles of dark, narrow passages, revealing the pyramid's shocking interior. They found it wasn't one structure, but at least 6, built one on top of the other like a set of nesting dolls. Each new civilization, the Olmecs, the Teotihuacanos, the Toltecs, built their own temple over the old one. But then they found the real secret. To put it mildly, the archaeologists were stunned. The pyramid was a graveyard. Deep inside, they uncovered over 400 human burials. And these weren't honored kings. These were ritual offerings. The discoveries were grim. They found decapitated skulls. They found bones with cut marks. They found skeletons of adults arranged in bizarre patterns. But the most haunting discovery was found in the courtyard of altars. There, researchers uncovered small ceramic pots. Inside each one were the tiny, carefully arranged remains of a child. These children were likely offered during a severe drought, sent as messengers to the rain god, Tlaloc. This wasn't just a monument, it was a place of intense, desperate belief, a place that demanded the ultimate price. But the bones were just the beginning. The pyramid's true secret was in its very design. Architects of the impossible. The thing nobody tells you about the Cholula Pyramid is how it was built. The pyramids in Egypt were made from massive limestone blocks, designed to last forever. The Cholula Pyramid was built from mud. Millions upon millions of adobe bricks, made of local clay mixed with straw and baked in the sun. How could a structure made of mud bricks survive for over 2,000 years, supporting a massive stone church on top, all while sitting in an active earthquake zone? This is where the story gets wild. The builders weren't primitive, they were engineering geniuses. They didn't just stack the bricks, They layered them in precise, complex patterns. They angled them inward and used a method called talud tablero, a sloping base with a vertical panel, which created a structure that was incredibly stable. When an earthquake hits, the pyramid doesn't rigidly resist the force, it absorbs it. The shock waves are distributed through the millions of adobe bricks, dissipating the energy. It was designed to bend, not break, but they didn't just build it to survive the earth. They built it to read the heavens. The pyramid is aligned perfectly with the cardinal directions, but it has another, more specific purpose. On the spring equinox, the sun rises in a way that illuminates the main western staircase. It was a massive, mountain-sized calendar, telling the priests and farmers exactly when to plant and when to harvest. It was dedicated to the god Quetzalcoatl, the feathered serpent, the god of wind, wisdom, and life itself. And it gets weirder. Many researchers are now convinced the pyramid has another, much more controversial alignment. Just like the pyramids at Giza in Egypt and the Great Pyramids of the Sun and Moon at Teotihuacan, the layout of Cholula's main structures appears to mirror the three stars in Orion's belt. Think about that for a second. Three different ancient civilizations, separated by thousands of miles and an ocean, all seemingly obsessed with the same constellation. Mainstream history calls this a coincidence. But for many, it's more than just that. It suggests a shared ancient knowledge, a global blueprint that we have completely forgotten. Local legends, dismissed for centuries, tell of giants who built the pyramid to storm the heavens. Other stories tell of secret tunnels that run from the pyramid's base all the way to the Popocatépetl volcano, almost 30 miles away. Archaeologists laughed at these stories. After all, they had mapped 5 miles of tunnels and found no such exit. But new scans just proved those legends, and found something even stranger. Quetzalcoatl's hidden room. This is where the story takes a sharp turn from ancient history to cutting-edge science. For decades, researchers assumed the 5 miles of tunnels had shown them everything. They were wrong. In recent years, teams began using ground-penetrating radar, GPR, to scan the unexplored sections of the pyramid's base. The GPR sent sound waves deep into the structure, and the readings that came back made them stop cold. They found a void, a massive hollow cavity, roughly 33 feet in diameter, sealed off from all known tunnels. It was a chamber that shouldn't exist. But GPR was just the start. In 2024 and 2025, research teams brought in the heavy artillery, lidar. This is the same technology that uses lasers to map hidden ruins in the Amazon jungle. They scanned the entire pyramid. The lidar data, processed by powerful computers, revealed what the mud and rock had been hiding for millennia. The 33-foot cavity was real, but there was more. The AI-assisted analysis flagged another anomaly, deeper still. It appeared to be a perfectly oval-shaped chamber, surrounded by a ring of smaller, hollow spaces. It looked less like a tomb and more like the inside of a machine. This is what has archaeologists scrambling. These new chambers are untouched. They haven't been seen by human eyes since the pyramid was sealed. What's inside them? What many overlook is a detail from another scan, a magnetic survey. This test measures the magnetic properties of the Earth. And deep inside the pyramid, in the same area as the new lidar anomaly, the needles went wild. There is something beneath the pyramid emitting a powerful magnetic signature. When they drilled microcore samples near the area, they found traces of minerals that are not native to the Cholula region. They found hematite, cinnabar, and mica. These are highly magnetic and conductive minerals. Why would an ancient culture pack these specific minerals deep inside a hidden chamber? This is where the local legends suddenly don't sound so crazy. For centuries, villagers have whispered that the mountain hums. They tell a story that the god Quetzalcoatl never left, but instead entered the pyramid to sleep, promising to awaken when the world needed him most. They claim that on quiet nights, you can feel a low vibration from the earth. Scientists dismissed it as folklore, but the new evidence, the hidden chambers, the strange magnetic minerals, all point to an unbelievable possibility. The pyramid wasn't just built, it was tuned. A 2,000-year-old warning. A team of researchers collaborating with data scientists fed all the information into an advanced AI learning model. The lidar scans, the GPR data, the magnetic anomalies, and the pyramid's precise astronomical alignments. They asked the AI to find a pattern. The AI's conclusion was mind-blowing. The pyramid wasn't a tomb, it was a cosmic resonator. The theory is that the specific shape of the chambers, combined with the conductive minerals and the massive adobe structure, was designed to capture and amplify low-frequency sound waves from the Earth itself, the very vibrations the locals called a hum. To test this, engineers did something unprecedented. They brought sound equipment into the tunnels and played low-frequency sound waves. What they recorded stunned them. The pyramid sang back. The structure resonated the sound, creating a harmonic echo that lasted for almost 12 seconds. The pyramid was, quite literally, a musical instrument the size of a mountain. But why? What was the purpose? The answer may have been found in a new sealed passage discovered just last year. When robotic probes explored the tunnel, they found a wall painted with a bright red ochre spiral, perfectly preserved. And near it, half buried in the clay, was a disk of polished black obsidian. It was a mirror, about the size of a human face. When researchers in the lab shined a laser at its precisely curved surface, the light reflected onto the wall in a complex pattern of concentric rings and lines. It took them weeks to realize what they were seeing. The pattern perfectly matched the architectural layout of the pyramid itself. It was a blueprint, a map. This is what changes everything. The builders of Cholula weren't just priests, they were scientists. They understood harmonics, engineering, and astronomy. They encoded their knowledge into the pyramid's very structure. And now, we're finally decoding the message. Forget everything you thought you knew about the murals inside these tunnels. For decades, experts dismissed them as simple decorations, religious art, pretty pictures. But now, researchers are looking again with fresh eyes. And what they're finding is chilling to the bone. The tunnels are like a storybook, written on the walls in pigment and mud. The earliest chapters from the first phases of construction are beautiful. They show a paradise. Bountiful harvests, so much food that the people could barely store it. Rivers overflowing with clean, fresh water. Healthy crops stretching as far as the eye could see. It was a golden age, a time of plenty. But then, the story turns dark. As researchers ventured deeper into the tunnels built centuries later, the images changed. The paradise is gone. The latter murals are the stuff of nightmares. They show a world dying. They show cracked earth and desperate people. They show terrifying serpents descending from a sky that looks like it's on fire. And the people? They aren't celebrating anymore. They are on their knees, faces etched in pure terror, hands outstretched. They are pleading with the gods as their entire world dries up and blows away in the dust. The implications are, frankly, terrifying. And it changes everything. This civilization wasn't just building a monument. They weren't just celebrating their faith or honoring a king. They were facing a global catastrophe. They were living through a climate crisis. This entire god machine, this massive pyramid, was a desperate, 1,000-year-long gamble. The child offerings to the rain god. The chambers designed to sing to the heavens. It was all a frantic attempt to do the impossible. To rebalance their world, to heal the planet. They didn't build this for a pharaoh. They built it for us. They built the largest structure in human history not as a tomb, but as a message. A final, desperate warning, encoded in mud and stone and sound. A warning that has been sitting right there, waiting for thousands of years. What was that warning? Simple. A civilization cannot and will not survive when it is at war with nature. They sent us a warning 2,000 years ago. Are we finally listening, or is it already too late? Let us know what you think. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more secrets. Thanks for watching.